Hey everybody, I'm doing a What's on Your Mind this Friday all alone. Ram is in Dubai at a conference, and so trying to keep the trains moving by myself. So I'm going to do a quick one today. Not too many topics that we get to riff on with Ram, which is always fun, but rather focusing in on a few things that people have mentioned that they're interested in learning more about when talking with us from a health and wellness perspective, thinking about sleep and diet. So, for me, one of the things that has recently changed in my life is that I have started doing a adult clinic for ice hockey. Never thought I would do something like this, but a friend that I ran into encouraged me to try, and I was game because I love trying something new, love being physically active, and putting those two together with some camaraderie was amazing. Big problem though, it is a very late event. We are the least likely to get dedicated ice time, so therefore we're going at like 10:10 at night to start. And if we go for over an hour, then scrimmage afterwards, I'm there for 2+ hours, meaning I'm not done until midnight. And then the guys want to hang out, maybe have a few drinks, have some extra snacks. And that means I'm getting home at 1:30 a.m. It has thrown my sleep completely off. Honestly, I haven't been sleeping this few hours in a given night since I had kids. It's already disrupting my ability to think. And it's affected my ability to be consistent in my workouts as well. So I've been trying to experiment with what can I do, and the only thing I've found is that I really need a nap as a result of missing out on that sleep. Getting up the next day early and just like hitting go again at 5 a.m. does not work when I'm getting 4 or 3.5 hours of sleep. So I'm definitely not doing that. But I think a Tuesday nap after a Monday workout has sometimes gotten me back into the flow. But I will say that it's really affected my ability to be consistent in the morning. And I think from a building muscle and losing fat perspective, consistency is one of the most important things. And so I had previously had a routine where I'm up at 5 a.m., 3 or 4 days a week, I'm lifting. The other days, I'm doing some type of zone two cardio. And now my schedule is completely out of whack. I'm not sure how to handle this. So I'm changing up the game and focused on trying to now adapt my new schedule to this. So I'm working out later in the day, and I think that really affects my ability to kind of like build muscle because everybody has a different capability of lifting heavy or building muscle and what works with your body. And for me, early morning heavy weights was something that I was ready to do. Later in the day, it like really is draining for me. So I'm unable to like have the same routine. So I can't focus on building muscle right now as much as just maintaining. I'm gonna get over this. The hockey lasts for a couple months, so it's not gonna really last that long. And I'll get back to my routine. The diet aspect of building muscle and losing fat though is like even more interesting than a sleep component, which I'm dealing with. So the diet component is you definitely need to be in a calorie deficit to lose fat. And many people wonder whether you can actually build muscle at the same time that you lose fat. The answer is you definitely can, but you're going to have to really ramp up your protein intake. So I have worked with a dietitian before who gave me some rough numbers. Tracking calories was terrible, tracking macros was terrible at first. But after a little while, I got used to it and kind of understood what my body needed. And so hitting about a gram of protein or 0.75 grams of protein per pound of body weight really was what I needed to do to be able to build or maintain muscle. And that's a lot of protein a day. So you're going to be trying to maximize some like very easy protein intake, which for me comes in the form of protein shakes or um, jerky. Beef jerky is just the best for me in terms of quick snack, high protein, low fat, uh, great nutritious protein meal. So I'm able to combine losing fat with building muscle if I'm really disciplined about my protein intake. Otherwise, to build muscle, you really have to be in a calorie surplus, which is obviously completely counterproductive to losing fat. Some people go on cycles where they say, hey, I'm going to cycle where I'm going to be in a cut phase, I'm going to lose fat, I'm going to be in a calorie deficit. Don't worry about the muscle. I'll just try to maintain. And then I'll finish that cycle of 6 or 8 weeks and I'll go into a calorie surplus or a bulking cycle. I've done that a couple of times in the last few years. And to be honest, I really didn't enjoy it personally. For me, I felt like there was so much hard work that went into the calorie deficit that when I then did a bulking session afterwards and started gaining weight, it was really tough mentally because I had worked so hard to lose weight. It's mentally taxing to count your calories. It is really rewarding when you see the effects, but then to just immediately move into a bulking phase was brutal. I couldn't do it again if I had to. So I'm more in the mindset of like, try to do it together by keeping the protein intake really high. And I would recommend working with a dietitian so that you can get somebody to calibrate exactly what you need to achieve based on your height, your weight, your age, your activity level, and give you a really great breakdown of the macros, protein, fat, carbohydrates, and then dialing that in for whatever your goals are. And keeping in mind that you have to be patient with any of these things because it didn't go on quickly and it won't come off quickly. But if you give yourself enough time to kind of manage a 1 to 2 pound a week weight loss or weight gain, you'll be able to do it sustainably for a while. If you're looking for a shortcut, I would definitely say it's not through diet and exercise. There is no shortcut to a sustainable change in your body composition. But diet will have a huge effect on it, and sleep will have a huge effect on your ability to actually work out consistently. The other thing that I've noticed that sleep has a major effect on is my cravings. So when I sleep less, I'm more interested in snacking and junk food. I don't know if that's actually a scientific cause or if there's just some more irritability that I have when I haven't slept well. And when I'm irritable, I know that what makes me feel good is a little bit of chocolate or some other type of sweets. And so if I'm able to kind of satiate my bad mood with food, I'll do it. And when I don't sleep enough, I am more often in a bad mood. So it becomes a vicious cycle. Uh, so there's just a little bit about sleep and diet. I think we've had some really incredible guests on the Legacy podcast talking about this, whether it was uh, Jay talking about diet and whole foods and how to really eat well. And looking forward to a future podcast where I'm going to be talking with a trainer who plans the programming for one of the major fitness companies in this country and really dive into talking about how does he program clients and how does he manage his diet. I think that'll be a really interesting way for us to think about from a longevity and health span perspective. What can we do sustainably that gets us to our goals? So again, super short. What's on your mind this week? Rom's out traveling. Be back next week with Rom. Talk all about Dubai. See how that trip was. In the meantime, hope you all have a great weekend. Thanks so much. Bye bye.